For me, the songs that I choose to sing, it has always been about what am I saying? What are the words meaning? I'm not very good at singing. I mean, I can do a coloratura moment or a cadenza or something, but a song for me has to have meaning and a story, or say something very, very clearly. And I realized in short order that lyrics are poems also. They are beautiful poems, especially the ones that I choose to sing. And it was a very easy thing to include some lyrics in our new children's anthology. In terms of the arts, it's everything about singing is about the spoken word, really. It is an extension of a spoken word. You just add your singing voice to it. So songs get broken down just as a scene would get broken down. What does it mean? Where am I going with this? What is the end result? What do I want? And then I think your teaching in the arts has been so important to you.
Yeah, I think the arts and literature have always been irrevocably connected, because if you think about it, every film script, every play, every song starts as words on the page before it is ever performed or filmed or sung. And so it is a form of literature. It's a performing art rather than a literature art, as in a sense. But it is irrevocably intertwined, and it's all about story. They're both about story. They're all about story.
Yes, and whenever possible, we made a pact when we first began writing and publishing together that we would combine as much of the arts in every way into our books. What is the paper? What are the end pages like? What are end papers like? Can we package it with a CD? Can we include music in some way? We've been fairly successful.
Can we adapt it into a play? Can we
do this or that? Yes, and the pieces continue to kind of grow and stretch.
I think we also, in terms of the way in which the two synergize, we think very theatrically when we write. So, for example, a lot of our openings are somewhat cinematic or theatrical.
For me, they certainly are. I mean, think of any symphony. Does it open with a fanfare? Does it open with a quiet passage where suddenly the theme comes in? And it is so exciting to say, what would I like to, what mood am I trying to convey with this particular book? And no matter how young the book, for instance, the first books that you and I wrote together, the Little Dumpy series, they usually begin with the cockerel crowing on the barn roof, and that is a fanfare. And he says it's morning and we're here, and it's a sort of musical thought that translates to the written word. The book we wrote called Dragon opens with a very pastoral passage, and I heard in my head as we were writing it that I saw the plane. I saw it as a movie. What would it look like if that were realized? And it helps enormously to have been in the theater or film and be able to envision that kind of thing. It helps me anyway, and I think we both utilize that. I have to say one other thing also, and that is we've discovered that, particularly with the poems, but it's true now, we've made a pact that we will read all our books aloud before we send them for publication, because there's a huge difference between reading the written page and reading it aloud. And in the case of the poems in our newest anthology, we were asked to make the audio book of the anthology, and it was a revelation. Poems that I thought might be a little old or staid turned out to be, of course, the best. Tennyson's The Brook, for instance, was, afterwards we both looked at each other and said, that is a phenomenal poem because it rolls like the brook and it ripples like the brook and it trickles and falls over waterfalls and the alliterations are so great and just everything about it when it's read out loud adds a dimension. So you cannot extricate every aspect of the arts from any other aspect of the arts, I don't think. That's not very well put, is it?
It says it perfectly.